Hey guys, it's LSuperSonicQ here with another episode of the In-Depth series. So today we're going to take a look at the Nintendo Generation set, which debuted back in Video Game Clay Figure Models 11 in March. But before I talk about that though, I want to talk about videos for a second. So recently I've been a little bit discontent with the amount of content on my channels because it's summer and I should be posting more videos. So I'm going to be really busy next week, and it kind of worked out for the best, I guess, because as a result of me being so busy, I've decided to pre-record a bunch of videos today, which is probably more than I would have put on next week had I not been busy. So that's good for you guys because I want to let you know that you can expect to see a vlog every day on Sincerely Me. We have this video today on LSuperSonicQ. We're going to have another clay tutorial probably midweek or around midweek. We're going to have another Then and Now series before the week's over, and of course the podcast on Friday. So lots of content coming to Sincerely Me and LSuperSonicQ, and I just want to let you guys know to look forward to that next week. So with that said, let's jump into this actual set with the first character, Mario. So just to talk briefly about the origins of this set, one day I wanted to do little minifigure sculpts, and Mario just happened to be a character that I chose. I wanted to do Mario 64 for some reason, and something that I aim to focus on in these little sculpts is a decal effect, which is what I call it. Essentially, instead of drawing on details with paint or anything right onto the clay, I drew it onto small bits of paper, cut the paper out, and then used a glaze to adhese it to the actual clay model. So I think you can get some better precision that way. So anyway, I had a Mario going amongst, a little Starman on top of a wing cap block, and I think this Mario was originally on top of a metal cap block. They were just little nice test figures, but the Mario came out so nice that I wanted to extend the set, and I decided to choose Nintendo 64 characters, keeping with the theme to continue the set. Now, some trivia about Mario is he originally started off like this. Then I had wings for the wing cap on him that eventually broke off and I lost, so I never bothered to fix them or look for them. So now he's just regular Mario, but he's still from Mario 64. So after him, like I said, Nintendo 64 theme was Doshin the Giant. And kind of something about this model is that I wanted to take the set, not only just in Nintendo 64 characters, but in more obscure characters like Saki from Sin and Punishment. I wanted to do an Animal Crossing villager, but kind of brand it with the Dobutsu no Mori Nintendo 64 style and not so much the GameCube style. I was going to maybe do some custom Robo-Mechs from the N64 Japanese version. I wanted the set to be kind of obscure, and this Doshin is kind of the only remnant of that obscure kind of idea, because after that I went on to do the more mainstream Nintendo characters. But anyway, something about this Doshin is, well, he actually doesn't have any decals on him. The tree is not the original tree that I had sculpted for him. It looked a little bit, maybe a little bit more accurate in my opinion. It looked kind of more like a palm tree. The leaves had texture to it. But I think when I was painting it, it was so small that I ended up knocking it off the table by accident. So it kind of fell. I lost it. I couldn't find it, so I had to resculpt the tree. So this is not the original tree, but still a nice looking model overall. Probably one of the only Doshin the Giant clay figures I'll ever sculpt. So next after him was Donkey Kong. Now I'm not really sure why I chose to do Donkey Kong next. I think it had to do something probably with Donkey Kong 64. I don't know really why I chose him next, but I definitely like the face. That actually may have been one of the reasons, because I wanted to kind of work with the face, see what I could do with kind of the eyes and stuff. So the eyes are decal, as is his tie logo right there. And it's a pretty cool model. I like how I got the paint job and stuff. And something else too I want to point out is that I purposely didn't spend a lot of time painting these. I painted them enough so they looked good and it wasn't just completely sloppy. But when I was making them, I'm like, oh well, they're minifigures, and you guys know how a lot of those kind of earlier minifigures and some officially licensed figures and stuff don't really have good paint jobs. So I'm kind of like, I kind of want that sense of not perfection. Just I don't know. It's kind of hard to explain, but yeah, the stance is kind of weird, actually. It's almost like he doesn't have any legs if you kind of look at it like that, but I don't know. I think it's a pretty cool Donkey Kong model, and I haven't sculpted a lot of Donkey Kong anyway, so this was, I believe, the precursor to the actual legit, really good Donkey Kong Country sculpture that is also in Clay Models 11, because I think I was working on the Donkey Kong Country one while I finished this one, so this one was finished before the other one. So then after Donkey Kong was Yoshi, so I'm pretty fascinated by Yoshi's story. Never played it, but I really like the artwork and kind of, just how the in-game models translate so well into clay. So I decided to kind of go along with those obscure lines, as I mentioned with Doshin, instead of doing a green Yoshi or some really obvious color. I was going to paint him black originally, but I did that large black Yoshi from Clay Models 10. So I decided to go the other rare Yoshi color in the game, white. So I think it's pretty good. The only little bit I can nitpick about is how, There's like the white, like I sculpted all these out of white clay and painted them. So just the only issue is that like he has the white from his stomach, but also the white from the paint on, you know, where his like skin color would be. And I don't know, in some regard, I feel like it didn't really translate that well. It's kind of hard to kind of like see the different shades, but it's still pretty cool. I like the shell a lot. I'm really good at sculpting Yoshi shells, and his eyes are the decal for this clay figure. Oh, and I even painted the bottom of his shoes. Wow. So that's Yoshi. Now from this point, I was kind of struggling to think of something I could, you know, extend the set with. I'm like, oh, well, 4 characters. I need more characters. But I'm like, you know, not really feeling the whole Saki thing. The N64, So I decided to go on to GameCube characters. And I started with Fox. So I think I started with him because I was thinking, well, Star Fox 64. I could continue N64. But not a huge fan of Star Fox 64. I didn't really feel like sculpting it in the blocky style. I wasn't really sure how I was going to make that look good, so I decided to do Star Fox Adventure style, which I've never sculpted a Star Fox Adventure style fox before, so this is the first one. I think it turned out really good, so something with this one that's more notable than any of the other ones, except for, you know, like Yoshi's nostrils and stuff, is, you know, using like an inking pen to draw on details. So this fox has a lot of details, you know, with some lines in his scarf, some stuff on his hands, and his clothing has some texture, and his staff also has some detail lines and stuff. So I kind of used that effect more so with the GameCube models here than I did with the, like, N64 ones were like, a lot of it was decals, but this one I just pretty much used that for the eyes, and the rest of it was like drawing on details with an inking pen. So I like this fox a lot. I think the sculpt is really good as well. Next is Captain Falcon. So I'd never done a Captain Falcon except for this clay model before. So I kind of wanted to make an effort to, you know, include him in the set and stuff. And he wasn't that hard to sculpt, to be honest, as a first Captain Falcon. But I felt the opportunity was there because, you know, didn't want to do Mario Sunshine because I already have a Mario. Like, there are no Yoshi games on GameCube, and even if there was, I already have a Yoshi. Like, what am I going to do? So F-Zero GX, definitely a good choice. He's got the decal on the back of him, which is, you know, the blue falcon and stuff. And he does have a decal here, like, it's supposed to be like the falcon thing, but I used red Sharpie and it bled quite a bit. The eyes are cut out, paper cutouts. And overall, yeah, he's pretty cool for a first Captain Falcon. I like him a lot. I should sculpt more Captain Falcons and stuff, since this first one came out so good. And then the last clay model to this set was Samus. So at this point, I was really kind of struggling for ideas. I'm like, oh, what am I gonna do? So I thought about Metroid Prime. Like, I felt really core GameCube game, you know, really, really great. So I decided to do Samus, and there was no Metroid 64, so I thought Prime would be a good idea. The only thing about this, though, well, first I should probably compliment it, because I do think it's really great. The sculpt is really good. The details are just amazing. I'm so glad I was able to get on all these detail lines. The arm cannon is sculpted really good. I like the paint on it. Just really, really awesome Samus for this small, this chibi, like, to go with this set. But I was going to say the only thing that I can kind of nitpick about is that the Prime colors are a little bit more darker and stuff, so I'm not really sure why I chose the vibrant colors. Technically speaking, I should have gone a little darker, but maybe I wanted to create contrast with Fox, because, like, Fox has some dark orange, Donkey Kong is, like, brown, so maybe I wanted to do something a bit more vibrant. I think when the whole set is all together, Samus does pop in her own right, and I think it kind of rounds up the set really nicely. And of course, as you guys may have seen from the prototype video I posted around Clay Models 11, these guys were originally going to go on, like, kind of this stand-up box display, but I couldn't really get that to work right. So I had a Nintendo logo that was supposed to go on the top of that box display. So instead of, you know, I scrapped the whole box display, but instead of scrapping the logo as well, I decided to take the logo, make a, you know, kind of a stand out of clay, put the logo on, and all these characters stand on this base. And it's a really, really nice set. I'm really glad that, you know, if you think about it, just a random test Mario turned into a whole set of Nintendo characters. I want to say I may have some ideas to further extend the set. Now, I'm not sure. I think the most I would extend it is not so much continuing this stuff, but maybe do, like, a part 2 or, like, a wave 2 and start, you know, with, like, a completely different idea rather than continuing on with the N64 GameCube characters, and I could kind of, you know, take it in a different direction, not so much brand it with this set, but still have it go along the same lines of minifigures that use decals. You know, some other kind of Nintendo generation set. So with that said, guys, thanks for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm really, really happy with this set, like I said, just from a test to what it ultimately became. So as always, I'm LSuperSonicQ, and until the next video, Finn. Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed the video you just watched. So these are all my channels and all other kinds of social network things. So if you like this video, then you might like some more of my content. The top banner is my main channel, LSuperSonicQ, where I do video game art. The second banner is my vlog channel, where I talk about a bunch of random things. And below is my blog, where I post daily. We do live streams every Friday night on my channel, LSuperSonicQ, and occasionally I post on Twitter. So yeah, thanks for the support, guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Finn.